Hello and welcome to the Voyage of the Vintage Vizsla, where I go out and rescue treasures, come back, do some research, and rehome them to wonderful people like you. So remember, if you subscribe, you get 10% off of anything in my eBay store. If you like this video, another 10% off of anything in this video, and if you share this video, that's another 10% off. Make sure you watch the whole haul because you never know what you might need or what you might like. So let's get started. Here are some of the things that I have found over the past few weeks, going to some garage sales and thrift stores and other places like that. Okay, so I'm just going to start with what I have right next to me, and I have two lamps that I have found. The first one is this beautiful hurricane lamp. This is in excellent condition. It has its globe here, and it has some beautiful painting on it, and then it has the inside globe as well, and everything is in really good condition. It is painted very well, and there's not a lot. I don't see anywhere the color is coming off. It has its original wiring. The only thing is, either I am going to have to redo it or sell it as is and have somebody else redo it. The plug has been cut off. But I don't think it's difficult. I was thinking about maybe doing it myself, but I might just sell this sucker as is. Don't know. We're going to see. I think it's too beautiful of a lamp. If you bought one that was not in very good condition and you were wanting to resell it, you can, these pieces, just the pieces alone by themselves could be very profitable. So this all fits right in here all together, and stick it right on top of there. Anyway, that's a very beautiful piece right there going on. And then the other lamp that I got it at this garage sale of this character lady. I almost didn't buy anything from her. When I walked up, she said, "Oh, you speak English." And then she just started talking all this crap about people who don't speak English. And I said, well, maybe you shouldn't have a garage sale. That's all I got to say. Anyway, I did find a great deal on this mid-century lamp. So it doesn't have a shade. So I would either sell it as is or maybe find a shade for it. It does have its finial. But anyway, let me give you a little close-up on this little gold going on here. I think it's very pretty, but I love pink. This pink and gold. Pink and gold was a big hot thing in the 50s. That's how come you can kind of recognize some things by their colors. Okay, I want to show you this also. Sorry, I'm picking this lamp up and putting it back up here so I don't step on it. I want to show you this. I got a whole set of 4 of these actually just yesterday, and I picked these up. These are from the, oh God, I forgot to, I want to say the 50s. Could be the 70s. Anyway, this is red and gold, and this is like a Hindu lady. And I got a set of 4 of these. And the main reason I picked these up was because my granny Wolf, she had some of these, and it just made me think of her. And so I'm probably going to keep these for myself unless you offer me a price that I can't resist. But I just couldn't resist these, and I think that's one of the reasons that vintage sells to people, because number one, it brings back a feeling, a memory, something. This reminds me of my granny. Or number two, we know that they're quality items, and number 3, we know they're one-of-a-kind items more than likely. All right, next I got a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, but I got a few pieces of Frankoma. Remember Frankoma, the guy's last name was Frank, and it was in Oklahoma, so that's where Frankoma is. There's this little coffee cup here. This one's in really good condition. I have another one just like this, but it's red. And then this little coffee cup, he is footed, and he does have a little ding on him somewhere. Oh, right here, right there. Of course, I didn't notice it at the time. And then this cutie little thing right here, it's a little footed dish that looks kind of like a horn or something another, and it's got a cute little, and of course it also has a little ding right there. I think if you put some, just turn it to the back and then you don't know. I think it's a planter. I think you could use it as a planter, whatever you wanted to. Okay, and then I don't know the research on this, don't know who made it, but I thought it was cute. He may even be modern, I don't know, I doubt it. He looks kind of vintage. He's a little pirate coffee mug. I wouldn't drink out of it, but you could if you wanted to. It's probably not feasible to do that. Okay, next we're just going to move right along. We're going to move on to this guy I found at a thrift store, and it is from the Treasure Craft USA. Now, before I even saw that, hello, before I even saw that, I could tell by looking at him, he probably was a bit vintage. This company was started in 1949 in California, and they make stoneware, mostly cookie jars and stuff. I believe this one's a planter because, I mean, it would have to have a lid to be a cookie jar, and you couldn't put a lid on there. Plus, you couldn't put your hand in there. So I think it's a planter. Anyway, started in 1949 and they disbanded in 1999, and it's in California, and they did stone pottery. And it's called the Treasure. When you want a treasure, I told you, Treasure Craft USA. Okay, and there aren't, now I looked over him several times and I didn't see any nicks or anything like that. So he might be in pretty good shape. Next thing I found, this. He is so cute. It's a little kitty cat teapot. Isn't he cute? The little lid comes off. And down on the bottom, we see a stamp that says West Germany. So this would be an example of when knowing history comes in handy. I don't know history very well, so I looked him up. Oh, it says something backwards. So I looked him up. And West Germany, I just looked up the West Germany part. West Germany was right after World War II, and all of whenever America and France and other places had invaded in Germany, they called that part West Germany, and it was from 1949 to 1990. So vintage is anything 1999 and earlier, so we know that this is vintage because West Germany was no longer in 1990. When I looked him up, and look, he has beautiful green eyes, look. And when I looked him up, this is probably from the 1950s. If you were interested in him, I'm going to put him on for 1999. He does have a ding right here. I think you could get some black nail polish and put on there. And I think inside here is also a little ding right there. But other than that, he's beautiful and he's in good shape, and he needs a good home. Any of the Frankoma pieces, they're going to be, the 2 cups are going to be $9.99, and the planter is going to be $15.99 if you were interested. Okay, got a couple other pieces here. I'm trying to keep moving along. I don't think this is vintage. I just thought it was cute. He's like a little creamer, and you can pour stuff right out of his mouth right there. It's a little elephant. I also like the fact that it looks, his ears almost kind of look like little leaves or something another, and he's very cute. He is so happy, and he would be happy in your house for $9.99. Yes, he would. Okay, here is another little piece. Probably not vintage, but I wanted to share it with you. Isn't this beautiful? I know, there I am again, right up on the camera. It's so pretty. And the little lid, oh, it has tape on it, is also a little shell. Isn't that cute? And this one has no nicks, nothing on it. It has no markings, so I have no idea who made it. I don't know when it was made. I don't believe it's vintage, but I believe it is adorable, and it needs your home. It needs to be in your home. And for $12.99, I think that's a great deal. You should try it. Okay, I'm going to put him down here. Okay, so I have this great little thrift store that I find some little honey things. And I actually was looking at coats and stuff, and I found a few clothes. And then I had gone by the glassware and missed all this stuff. Then I decided to go back by, and I found this piece. And this is Anchor Hocking. Okay, and it was named after 2 different companies. The first began with Anchor Company, and it was named after a river in, I think it's Ohio, Anchor River in Ohio. Don't quote me on that. And then there was another company. They merged together, I think in 1939. Let me check my notes. It says here that Anchor Hocking was founded in 1905 by Isaac Jacob Collins in Lancaster, Ohio, and he was named after the Hocking River. That company merged with the Anchor Corporation, Anchor Cap and Closure Corporation in 1937. From 1937 to 1983, the company operated the oldest glass manufacturing facility in the United States. So the Anchor Company had started their glass company in 1863 in Salem, New Jersey. And today, in 2012, Anchor Hocking merged with Oneida, and they create Everywhere Global now. So, how was that for a little bit of history for you? Anyway, this is just a little rectangle piece. It's a little bakeware. I think this would be great for single people or people, maybe even a couple that they just don't eat a whole lot and you just want to put something in there. A little pie, a little casserole. This is perfect. You can put this in your dishwasher, in your microwave, right in your oven. Just don't put it on the stove top. Everything is going to be good there. Okay, so this was going to be probably about around $12.99 if you are interested. That's an Anchor Hocking piece. Okay, so I'm going to have to move a couple things. I want you, that's going to be my last guy. Okay, so I got really lucky. I rarely get really lucky, but I got really lucky and I found two pieces. So this was sitting on a shelf with a whole bunch of other stuff. It had stuff all in it. And I was like, you know what? That may be a piece of Pyrex. And I pick it up, and lo and behold, it is. This is a piece of Pyrex. I don't remember. I think it's from the 70s. It's called Primary Color, and it is a serving bowl. And this is the large size serving bowl. They go on eBay for around $15, and so I'm going to put this one for $14.99. So I'm going to talk about the Pyrex company. I have another dish to go with that. This is called a large lasagna. And I think this is something daisy print, some kind of daisy print. And this is the large lasagna pan. Does it say the size on here? It does. It's a 13.5 by 3.5 by, no, that's by 6.5 by 1 and 3/4, by 1 3/4. So it's not very deep, but it's very long, and it's fairly wide. And this one is on eBay around $25, so $24.99 on this one right here. So let me talk about Pyrex. Get my notes here. It started in 1915 by the Corning line, and they used to use this borosilicate glass, and they used it in like laboratory glass and things like that. The word Pyrex, some people thought it might be Greek and Latin from the Greek word pi and the Latin word rex, and they put them together. But actually probably what it came from, the guy who invented Pyrex, he had discovered lots of other different glasses and chemicals and different things, and everything he did had an EX on the end. Well, the very first thing he created was a pie plate, or a pie dish. So pie, and then they put an EX, and then to make it make more sense, they put Pyrex. Yeah, that's a great little thing there. Okay, I have one more piece that I want to show you that I picked up when I went to the Goodwill bins. Now, it looks it's very, very stained and very dirty. And I had no idea what it was, but I knew it didn't cost me very much to pick it up from the bins. This was a sack. It's just one piece of cloth right now. This was a sack that they used to put cement in and this is a real company, Union Portland Cement Company in Devil Slide, Utah. There is a town called Devil Slide, Utah. And the interesting thing about cement is that, or in Utah, they have actually 3 cement companies. And this guy who discovered cement, he put these 2 compounds together, burned them, and then when they got it wet and it dried really hard, and it was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So anyway, I think they started it in the late 1800s, like 1893, this company, and this company is still, from what I saw in my research, is still going on. Okay, so I looked up, I didn't see one like this, and I think this one will go for a lot more. But I looked up other cement bags on eBay. And they were like dirty, like this, stained looking. And they were going for like $35 and $40. What? I'll keep you in touch on how much this one goes for. I am looking for, I don't know if I want to put it on an auction or if I just want to list it really high and see what happens. I don't know, because I think if the other ones that didn't have a devil, because this having a devil on it, I think it's going to be even better. All right, I'm almost out of time. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. That's the Voyage of the Vintage Vizsla today.